is how to make the easiest and the best bone broth possible. Really one of the cornerstones of your cooking. My name's Zoe and I'm just going to talk you through what I do in the kitchen. As you can see, you find and cut an onion in half. Gather up any scraps of skin that you may have as well of the onion. You need a stick of celery, rip it in half just like this. And then, carrot, skin and all. You really want to make this as easy as possible. Don't even bother peeling, although give them a wash beforehand. Chuck it into your pot. I use an instant pot, which really has changed my cooking. Really is again a fundamental bit of kit in my kitchen, although a slow cooker or just a normal stove pot will do. Other aromatics is a bay leaf, so have a fiddle, see if you can get one of those out of your pot. If you've got one growing in the garden, even better, nice and fresh. Throw in a few peppercorns as well. I've said 14 or so in the video, but I kind of go by sight, so you can see sort of a few in the middle of the palm of your hand. Pour it in and away you go. One of the key things you're also going to need now is quite a bit of salt, 3 or 4 teaspoons. Again, I'm kind of pouring by eye in this video because I know the sort of intensity of salt that I enjoy in the bone broth. It does mean that you need less when you're actually cooking with salt. Parsley, very important for me. I usually buy big wadges of it, and as you can see, I've still got it in the packet here from the supermarket. Wash it and then you can actually freeze it, so use what you want fresh in your pot or your cooking. Any left over, just put it in the freezer, don't waste. Next we've got the bones. You've got a choice, beef, lamb or chicken. I quite enjoy the beef marrow bones, and that involves going across to the butchers and asking if they've got any scraps and bits and bobs that are put aside. Do try and get them before a lot of dog owners will get the bones that they feed to their dogs, but get them for yourself because the gelatinous loveliness is great. You can add some water into the pot till it's nearly full. In my instant pot it takes about 4 hours. You're going to see it needs to be on a high pressure, and as you can see, put it down to 4 hours and away you go. 9 hours in a slow cooker, 12 to 15 if you're simmering very low heat on the stovetop even. When it comes out, it's going to be this incredible sort of brown colour with all the sort of bits of vegetables floating around in it. Give it a stir. As you can see here, it's actually still warm, so the fat hasn't congealed on the top. But you're going to have to pour out the vegetables, separate the vegetables and the bones from the stock so that you can actually use it. So as you can see, I'm going to get colander and strain it out. Now, one of the questions is, what could you actually use this for? Now, one of the ways I use it is when I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, or any of the family are feeling under the weather. A nice warm cup of this is really nourishing, very gut healing and deeply satisfying. So that's one of the things. So it's got kind of medicinal purposes. I also use it really in a lot of my cooking. Soups, you can have a nice bulky soup, and this is the sort of foundation of it. Sauces as well. So I've also got a YouTube video floating around of making IKEA style meatballs, gluten and dairy free, where I use a bone broth as a basis. If you're doing something like a bolognese or a stew as well, add a couple of scoops of this in. Clean out any tins of chopped tomato that you may have, and you can also cook beans in it. So if you've soaked some beans overnight, again, the beans can cook really quickly in the instant pot and just taste so unctuous and delicious if you're going to be using a lovely bone broth like this. As you can see in the videos, I'm scraping out all the last bits, and then ta-da, when it's cooled off, particularly with the beef broth, it goes a bit wibbly and gelatinous, but this is just fantastic stuff. You want to keep the fat, don't scrape it off, don't get rid of it. It's really good for you. So pour it in the cup, warm it up, but you can also freeze it and use it again later. So that's my super simple recipe for bone broth. I really hope it helps, and enjoy. If you've enjoyed this video, then like, share and subscribe, and do have a look at the other recipes on this YouTube channel, as well as my website, realliferealkitchen.com. Thank you, bye.